the one that I like best is actually the toughest one to put in. It's generally the toughest one to fall out. It doesn't, even if it breaks, the string breaks, it keeps it in. It doesn't generally fall all the way out. I'll show you. And I like it. I really do. It's lightweight. It's polypropylene, I believe. It's not silicone. The bumper is silicone, but that doesn't touch me. I have my bandage on, and it rests on the bandage. So that's fine for me. This end cap hardens over time, so they don't seal real good. But just a quick twist, they're off, and the new one twists right on. That's all there is to it. They're very easy to deal with. Now, they have a little drawstring in them. I don't know if you can see it there. This one has been broke, and that's why this tube was replaced. I actually had this tube for 14 months. The doctors didn't like that idea. They said 6 months most. 3 to 6 months for a tube. Well, I have one of these right now, a cooked tube. I've had it over 2 years. It's still working great. I broke the string once, but I was able to fish it out and draw it back up the line, tie it off again. I got lucky on that one. That was just a stroke of luck there. I was able to retie it, set it up, and go. But I think it's broke again. The string is really good, but it does deteriorate over time. And that's the only thing. But the deal, when you break your string, these got a nice tight little tuck on them. It pulls out, it usually stops right there, and it doesn't come all the way out. You'll have it hanging out of your stomach like that. You'll see that kind of a shape to it. You know, uh-oh, that's come too far. Now, why has it come too far? Well, generally because the string is broken. It doesn't have that pulled up snug to where it normally would be. So if it was, it would only come out that far. But when it comes out that far, you got a pretty good idea the string might be broke. Okay, but no big deal. Just kind of stuff it back in, tape it down, give yourself about an ounce of ice water through there, and you'll know if that ice water went in your stomach or if it missed your stomach. You know how it feels on a hot day. You've been running and you grab your first big swallow of good cold ice water. If that's not what you feel, you know how it feels when it hits your stomach. If you don't feel it inside your stomach like you just drank it, then you know it missed. There's no problem. It's only water. You slip around. You just call and let them know that, hey, tape it down good. Call and let them know you don't think your tube is in right. And they'll go in and they'll check its location. It's nothing critical. Don't try to put formula through, though, if you don't think it's in properly. But they can check it for you, so it's no big deal. Let's see. Oh, setting these tubes up. Okay, the installation of one of these types of tubes is done with a little rod. It has a real flexible end. It's like a speedometer cable or a guitar string, where the steel string kind of tapers down and ends, and then the winding is still there and real flexible on the end. Yeah, maybe I can grab a little piece of paper to help. Okay. Maybe this will help you to see the end of it there is flexible, but the rest of it is fairly stiff. Now on this end, you can see the rod comes right out. On the other end, it's just the flexible part. See that? Really flexible. Now I'll show you what happens, how this is installed. Unwind it here. They'll be removing one first. And the way they remove it is they'll stick this flexible end in the tube first. They put it through. They feed it down. Now you see at the other end, down the coil part there, you'll see it start to come through. See that? The flexible part comes out of there. Now, as the stiff part of this rod starts to come through there, it'll straighten this curve out. Watch. See that? There. Now we have the stiff part of the rod all the way down, sticking out the end. So the stiffest part starts right about there. Now that they've got that in, what they do, generally they'll cut the tube off right about here. That gives them more room to play with on the other end. They'll slide it out. Once it's all the way out, the tube is left behind in your stomach. I mean the wire. It's still here in your stomach. Then they'll come along with the new tube on the other end, and they'll get in that little hole. They'll slide it on, hold her straight and slide her on. And while they're holding this down, they slowly slide that tube up. Pretty soon they have it down just about to your stomach. They'll still have quite a bit here left that's inside of your stomach, but they'll have the tube or the wire coming out the other end of the tube there. Now they can grab a hold of that and then move the tube on down. So what happens is, see, it goes through and into the stomach. Pretty soon the tube comes around and it's in place. They pull this little cable out. Then that drawstring is also on there, and it comes out on the other end through a little tiny hole right there. I'm not sure that you can see it, a little speck. And they pull up on that while they're watching on the monitor, and they can see the tube. They'll see that it draws down. When it draws down like that, that's where they stop. And then they wrap the string around the other end, tie it, put your end cap on here. They'll open it up, and they'll put some trace water through the tube and watch where it goes and make sure that it goes into the stomach, just as a secondary test to be sure it's in the stomach. And if it is, then fine, they cap it, tape it all down, you're set to go. And then you have your tube. There's nothing complicated about a feeding tube. Feeding tubes are all really simple. And I think this one really shows, this little button tube really shows the simplicity of it. It's just a tube, like a straw. in the milkshake. That's all it is, and a simple little way to put food in there. I had a piece of metal that broke off one of these, and I believe it was the end that broke off. They were one of the students, because I was in a college hospital. One of the students pulled it out a little too quick, and it broke off, and they didn't realize it. And it got some position that they didn't see it. Well, that took a year to work its way out. That was kind of painful for me, but I survived it, and I think I'll even add the picture in the video to show you the little piece of metal coming through that I took. But as for now, that's it. The feeding tube, nothing to fear. So simple that even a human could use it. Oh, I used to be one of those. Now I'm a Borg. I've been assimilated. Resistance is futile. You will be assimilated. But, hey, you know, if you're anorexic, you have a problem swallowing, you aspirate, get stuff into your lungs that could kill you, you don't want it. This is easy. I mean, I was scared half to death of having to get one of these, and I did not want it. And for the first year, I wanted to get rid of it really bad. After that, it's okay. I can deal with this, you know. And, you know, because I've done some things, found some ways around it, and found out what it was all about. The biggest problem was I didn't know this stuff that I just showed you in this video. I didn't know it was just straw in a milkshake.